Try this quick test. Ask 5 employees how company values shape their daily work. If you get 5 different answers, it's a sign of confusion and misalignment within your organization. When values are unclear or inconsistent, decision-making slows down and employees lose sight of the company's direction. Values shouldn't just be words on a wall. They should be practical tools that guide choices and drive performance. Bono used OKRs to help the ONE campaign stay focused on its mission to end extreme poverty, a method highlighted by John Doerr. In this video, you'll see how Jiny Kim's approach connects personal purpose to business strategy through measurable OKRs. The right alignment can transform engagement, as seen in companies like KPMG, where clear storytelling around values led to a measurable boost in employee commitment. But before you can build that kind of alignment, it's important to recognize why so many value statements fall short in the first place. If you're new here, please subscribe and like, because I share tips to help you improve your career. Across industries, many companies publish value statements that sound impressive, but fail to stand out or drive meaningful action. Lists like integrity, innovation, teamwork appear on countless websites, yet rarely influence daily decisions. This pattern isn't accidental. Strategic advisor Roger Martin notes that most organizations fall into the trap of adopting generic values that lack strategic coherence. These statements often serve as public relations tools rather than operational guides, resulting in values that are interchangeable with those of their competitors. The consequences of this approach become clear inside the organization. When values are disconnected from real business practices, employees often struggle to interpret what those words mean in the context of their work. Harvard Business Review highlights that companies with weak value alignment tend to experience lower performance metrics, including diminished customer satisfaction and engagement. Consider a hypothetical scenario. A pharmaceutical company touts patient-first values in its branding, but in practice, prioritizes shareholder returns over drug affordability. Employees and customers quickly notice the gap between stated intentions and actual priorities, leading to confusion and eroded trust. This disconnect isn't limited to external perception. It affects internal decision-making at every level. When tough choices arise, such as balancing short-term profit against long-term integrity, vague or generic values offer little guidance. Employees are left to interpret company priorities on their own, which can slow down decisions and create inconsistency across teams. Over time, this lack of clarity can undermine morale and contribute to higher turnover, as people seek organizations where values are more than just slogans. To determine whether your company's values are truly functional, apply 3 practical tests. First, the recall test. Can employees name your core values without being prompted? If not, those values are unlikely to shape behavior. At Google, for example, the phrase "don't be evil" became a touchstone in product debates, helping teams make tough calls. Second, the leadership reference test. Do leaders actively cite values when resolving conflicts or making decisions? Research shows that when leaders use values as criteria, teams gain clarity and alignment. Third, the KPI test. Do your values drive measurable outcomes? In one call center study cited by David Burkus, a shift from generic customer service language to a clear cultural principle led to higher customer satisfaction and faster resolution times. Some organizations go further by tracking the impact of specific values on workplace behaviors. For example, a health tech startup measured the adoption of radical transparency by monitoring how often employees shared constructive feedback in meetings. Within 3 months, participation rates climbed and project timelines shortened, demonstrating the tangible benefits of authentic, actionable values. Ultimately, strong values act as a decision-making algorithm, shaping choices even in ambiguous situations. When your team faces the midnight test, making a difficult call when no one is watching. Values that are operational, not ornamental, provide the guidance needed for consistency and trust. The challenge is turning lofty words into a lived reality, and that process starts with how values are engineered from the ground up. Personal experience often shapes the most enduring company values. Jaini Kim, founder of Nuna, built her company's foundation on the principle of relentless empathy, a value rooted in her family's experience navigating Medicaid for her brother's autism. This wasn't a slogan chosen at random. It was born from a clear mission shaped by adversity and real-world challenges. Values like these, forged in defining moments, carry far more weight than those drafted in abstract brainstorming sessions. To ensure values hold up under pressure, Jan Stassen emphasizes that they must be situation-independent, able to guide decisions consistently, even when trade-offs become difficult. Generic terms such as integrity or excellence often sound impressive, but fail to direct behavior when the stakes are high. In contrast, Southwest Airlines' warrior spirit value emerged from the company's early operational challenges, where resilience and adaptability became essential to survival and growth. These values, grounded in lived experience, provide reliable direction when facing uncertainty. The process of engineering authentic values starts by revisiting your organization's pivotal moments. Collect stories from both challenges and successes, moments when your team overcame setbacks, or when a breakthrough redefined your approach. Research from Jan Stassen and David Burkus shows that values linked to real stories are more memorable and actionable. For example, a fintech company's commitment to no black boxes came from a team decision to explain complex fees to customers, even at the cost of a delayed launch. These narratives reinforce what matters most when decisions get tough. To determine if a value is operational, test it against 3 criteria. Does it guide decisions in real situations? Does it set your organization apart in a meaningful way? And does it drive measurable outcomes? Consider Google's "Don't be evil" principle. When faced with building a censored search product, the team vetoed the project, demonstrating how a core value can direct high-stakes choices. Values that meet these standards move beyond aspiration and become part of daily operations. A practical way to uncover these values is the scars and stars method. Scars are the tough lessons, the product recall that changed your quality standards, the layoff that reshaped your culture. Stars are the standout moments, unexpected praise that revealed strengths you hadn't named. By analyzing these defining experiences, teams can identify values already present in their best and worst moments. This approach ensures values reflect actual behaviors, not just ideals. Once authentic values are in place, the next challenge is translating them into operational habits that influence every level of the organization. This is where values begin to drive real momentum. If you're finding this helpful, please subscribe and like, because it helps us create content that matters to you. Also, if you want to take your skills further, check out our executive education and executive coaching programs at execdeet.com. Translating authentic values into operational speed starts with how those values are embedded in daily decisions. The real impact comes when values are not just stated, but become the foundation for how objectives are set, measured, and achieved. Many organizations struggle here. Gallup reports that only 14% of employees can connect their company's values to their work, highlighting a major gap between aspiration and execution. One practical solution is the OKR, Objectives and Key Results, system, which John Doerr popularized to bridge this gap. OKRs act as a translation tool, turning broad values into specific, measurable actions. For example, Google's value of innovation without permission was operationalized through initiatives like 20% time, where employees could pursue new projects aligned with company priorities. These initiatives were tracked with clear OKRs, ensuring that innovation was not just encouraged but measured and reviewed. Sundar Pichai's leadership of the Chrome project used OKRs to set ambitious user targets, pushing teams to stretch beyond what felt comfortable and to measure their progress transparently. Patagonia offers another illustration. Their core value, Earth is our only shareholder, influences how product development objectives are set, such as prioritizing sustainability in new lines. While the specific OKRs may vary, the principle remains. Values are embedded into business goals, so every team understands how their work advances the company's mission. When values shape objectives, teams gain clarity and the whole organization moves with greater purpose. The process for building this alignment is straightforward but requires discipline. First, surface authentic values through a review of your organization's defining moments, both challenges and successes. Next, write objectives that directly reflect those values in each business function. Then, set measurable key results to track progress, using regular reviews, just as Google does with its quarterly OKR check-ins. This cycle ensures that values are not static statements, but active drivers of business outcomes. In high-performing organizations, values also shape recognition and resource allocation. While Google does not tie OKRs to bonuses or promotions, they use OKR results to foster collective commitment and continuous improvement. This focus on shared progress, rather than individual reward, reinforces the idea that values guide the entire organization, not just a select few. The ultimate test is whether employees can articulate not just the company's values, but the objectives and key results that bring those values to life. When this connection is clear, meetings become more efficient, decisions align quickly, and employees see the impact of their work on the organization's broader mission. This operational alignment is what turns values from abstract beliefs into a source of real strategic velocity, setting the stage for major shifts in business priorities and investments. IBM's move from excellence to be essential shows how refocusing priorities can reshape investments and drive meaningful results. This kind of strategic clarity, grounded in values, provides companies with a real advantage in decision velocity, allowing them to adapt quickly and serve customers more effectively. Roger Martin emphasizes that strategy is about making tough, ongoing choices about what matters most. Clear values are essential for guiding these decisions, especially when the path isn't obvious. This week, apply the midnight test to a major business decision and, following John Doerr's advice, grade how well your objectives reflect your core values. Share in the comments which value you plan to put to the test. Your experience could help other leaders strengthen the link between values and outcomes. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like, because it helps us bring you more free videos. And if you're ready to grow your career, visit execbeat.com to learn about our executive education and coaching.